Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be reviewing Love After Lockup, Season 3, Episode 43. So go ahead and grab your drink and whatever else it is that you do, and let's get into this review, shall we? So the first couple up is going to be Anissa and Jeff. So Jeff has discovered the world of online shopping, and he is running up Anissa's debit and credit cards, just buying ridiculous, unneeded things, crap, junk. And he's bought thousands of dollars worth of items online, and he's wasted tons of money playing poker. And I'm assuming it's online because, for one, I think they're quarantined, and two, he's on home confinement, so he can't go anywhere. And Anissa admits that his spending is becoming a bit much for her. She can't quite keep up with all of the junk he's buying. And I feel like she needs to put her foot down and create some boundaries. He needs to stop buying shit. He ain't got no job. So why does he have access to your credit cards? Tell me that, Anissa. How did he get access to your credit cards? Who taught him how to online shop, Anissa? So I don't know. She's playing the victim a little bit, and I'm not buying it because somebody had to tell him how to do these things. Unless it was somebody else at the halfway house that was coming to see him, but we won't go there. So Kyle comes over, and they're just talking outside, and Anissa goes inside and gets them some tea and leaves the two men by themselves. So Kyle asks Jeff how much the drone costs, because Anissa mentioned to him that Jeff's spending is becoming a lot for her to keep up with. And Jeff gets defensive and says that anything pertaining to money or how he treats Anissa isn't a best friend issue, it's a husband and wife issue. And Kyle, rightfully so, reminds him that when he got out of jail, he left Anissa for dead on the side of the road, and she didn't come out of her room for 2 weeks because she was so hurt that Jeff stood her up, and Kyle was there to help her through that. So that's why he's protective over her. And I feel like Jeff has to understand that too. Like, he did leave Anissa. He stood this woman up twice. 2 times. So the fact that she found a male friend that it's platonic too, he should be thankful for that because she was vulnerable. So Kyle asks Jeff, has he told Anissa the secret yet? And Jeff says no, he hasn't yet, and he's gonna do it when he feels like it. And so he goes and plays with the drone that will cost Anissa 2 days of income to pay off. So that kind of gets underneath Kyle's skin. So he goes inside and he tells Anissa about Jeff's secret child. He spills the tea. He's like, sis, Jeff has an 18-year-old child and he doesn't want to tell you for some reason. And it's not like the child was conceived while you were together. So I'm not sure why he's not telling you unless there's more to it and he's lying about the age of the child. But he's known since he was at the halfway house. And I'm here for Kyle because I feel like, yeah, somebody needed to tell Anissa. But her dumbass is just confused. And she's like, that's nothing to lie about. I don't know what to do. I have to process this information before I act on it. And I feel like, no, go outside right now and ask him about the secret child. He's living up in your house. You're giving him money. You deserve to know. Oh my gosh, that's enough of them. All right, the next couple up is Stan and Lisa. So Stan is making breakfast for Lisa. If you remember, they had an exhausting night in the dungeon where they were in straight jackets. There was ropes and chains and all of that cool stuff. And so Lisa asked Stan how his ass feels, and now we can confirm the dynamic of this relationship. It's giving me BDSM vibes or even like dominatrix feels. No kink shaming over here. Go off, Stan and Lisa. Do whatever you want to do as long as you're safe and both parties are consenting. Do whatever. I just think it's kind of funny though, because Stan doesn't like appear to be that type, but you know, you could never judge a book by its cover. So yeah. Anyways, Lisa is eating her breakfast and she's like, what are we doing today? I need a car. And Stan is a little hesitant because he bought a car for another woman and she ended up leaving him. And Stan tells her that without a commitment, he doesn't know where the money is going to come from. And then Lisa starts fumbling over her words, talking about how they need to take it slow and she's already married to someone else and that needs to get fixed first, you know, one day at a time, and so on and so forth. And Stan wants the assurance of a future with Lisa. That's all he wants. He just wants to know that you're not going anywhere. And Lisa's running a scam and she's not fooling anyone. She needs to get it together or call Lizzie from season 1 to figure out how to finesse the really big coins, because I'm sick of watching her ass fumble the bag. Get your shit together, Lisa. You're about to ruin the whole operation because you don't know what to do. Fix your attitude, for one, and give that man the assurance that he needs. All you got to do is say, yeah, once this gets done, then we'll talk about that. I'm not going anywhere. I move my stuff in. But no, she just wants to have the attitude all the time. Anyway, so they get up and they go to the dealership and the salesman is talking to them and he's like, so yeah, is this dad? And Stan's like, no, I'm the boyfriend. And wow, how embarrassing for Stan. But anyways, they go for a test drive. Well, Stan test drives the car with Lisa in the passenger side because she ain't got no license yet, so she can't drive. So yeah. So they go for the test drive. They decide that they're going to buy it. And Stan asks her if he puts the down payment on the car, are they getting married? And Lisa just kind of shrugs it off. She laughs in his face. And she's on her phone texting a friend about the scam she's about to pull off. And Stan is just standing there looking like an idiot while she ignores him. And, you know, they get the car, or he pays for the car. And here's the thing. He's paying for the car, but then when the salesman asks, like, okay, so what are we going to do about payments? Because you're putting $4,000 or $5,000 down, there's still more that you have to pay. Well, Lisa says, yeah, we'll figure that out when the time comes. But for right now, I'm getting my money from Stan, and we're just buying the car today. That's it. I don't have a plan. I will figure it out as I go. But, yeah, no plan. No plan of action at all. None. And she can't even drive. She can't even drive. But on a different note, I will say this about Stan. Stan is a weird dude, but he's a good dude, because what he's trying to do in putting the car in her name to establish her some credit, that's really good. Because normally somebody would just put it in their name so that they're in control over it, meaning they can take it when they want to, do whatever they want to do with it. But the fact that he wants to put it in her name so that she can start building credit, Lisa, I know that this is a scam, but sis, you're not thinking of the bigger picture. There's a bigger bag to secure, and you're not thinking. Yeah, you can get a little bit of something now, but you're in his will, sis. You're in the will. So if something happens to him, you're set. He has income coming in, and you'd be able to just buy stuff. Like, don't get greedy with it. Don't get greedy with it. If he was able to buy those wigs, what were they, $1,300 or something like that? And that was just wigs. Imagine if you actually were a little sweeter, what you could actually get. Just throwing that out there. Free game. Free game. That's all I got for you. Free game. All right, next up we have Rachel and Doug. And so Rachel is up making them breakfast, and they sit down and eat. And Doug is telling her that he's going out with his friend for the day, and he's joking around saying that they're going to find another girlfriend. And Rachel just kind of responds with low energy and says, well, we have an extra bedroom. And I think what happened with Doug's family may have caused her to view him a little bit differently. I also think that she saw a different side of him that she just wasn't feeling. I think all of that anger and that aggression and that rage and the way that he treated little Doug, I think that just made her maybe open her eyes a little bit more. And she confirms this in her confessional too. The things that his sister was telling her is still playing in the back of her mind. And if you recall, his sister basically said that Doug is a liar, a cheater, and a user, and that it's only a matter of time before he does it to her. He's manipulative. He's toxic. It's what he does. And Rachel says that she can only trust him and watch his actions with her. She can't really go based on what his sister's saying. But under her breath, she says, she sounds naive. And I'm glad that she said that because it does. It really does. And I think she's keeping what his sister told her in the back of her mind at all times, which is a good thing because Doug ain't about shit. He's just not. He's not. So Doug leaves with his friend Mike, and they go to a jewelry store to buy a wedding ring. And his friend Mike asks him how he's going to pay for this. And Doug reveals that he currently has a job at a warehouse, factory type deal. So he has a little income coming in. And that he also called on some help from his friends. And maybe I'm a little bit different, but I don't understand buying a wedding ring with borrowed money. You should be able to buy that yourself or be saving up until you can do it on your own. In my opinion, if you have to borrow money for a wedding ring, maybe you shouldn't be trying to get married. To me, that's a red flag. That's not a good sign. But then again, that's just my opinion, and I'm not married, and that could probably be why. Standards too high. Just kidding, no. Not high enough. No, another joke. Anyways. Also, his friend Mike had a little confessional moment, and he said that he doesn't have much faith in Doug because he's never known him to be with one woman. And the streets are talking, and they're confirming what Mike said. Apparently, Doug's been writing other women while he was with Rachel, and Rachel was just the one that was gullible enough to go the extra mile for him. So, yeah, that's really unfortunate for my good sis. I hope she rewatches this and gets it together. But anyways, Doug and Rachel are having a little outing together, and so they're going towards 8 Mile. Let me stop acting like I know what 8 Mile is. I don't know. I just know that it was a movie. So 8 Mile Road, they're going down the highway and then they're going to this lake, and he proposes to her again in the proper way without, being shackled up and having a, those prison rings that are made out of plastic and stuff. Don't ask me how I know, but that's what they do. But, yeah, Rachel says yes. And it may have just been me, but Rachel seemed a little bit hesitant. She seemed a little bit hesitant, like, I'm just going to say yes because I don't know what he's going to do to me. This big man, I don't know. So I'm going to just say yes. But she seemed a little bit hesitant. So then they get back in the car and, they're driving home and he's all on his phone laughing and having a good time. And Rachel's like, well, what's so funny? Let me in on the joke. I like to laugh too. And he's like, don't worry about my phone. Focus on the road or something like that. And I'm just like, what the hell? And then he's like, you nosy little bastard or something like that. Bro, how are you saying this to your wife right after you just re-proposed to her? Now you're in the car keying at your phone, but she can't know? Something's up. Something's up. Something's up. I guess we'll see next week during the finale. So next up we have Deontay and Nicole. So it's the morning after Deontay caught Nicole in the car with her ex, Zach, with 2 Ks. And Deontay's getting ready to go to the gym to meet up with his friend Derek with the smooth skin. And he's in the car saying that he doesn't know what they did and he can't say if anything went down. And he also says that he didn't know that Nicole was still talking to him, but this boy is still plastered up and down her Instagram. And he also says that Nicole made him delete all contact with his exes because she said that exes are exes for a reason. Now, I feel like Deontay, this is the first red flag. She's allegedly in a relationship with you, your fiance, in love with one another, but she doesn't have you posted up. Make it make sense, but she still has pictures of her ex on there and told you to take it off of your page. So everything that she's told you not to do, she's doing, but this is the person that you love. You're too old for this. We are about the same age. So I don't know. I don't know where you're at in your life. I don't know if you just want to be in a relationship so bad. But beloved, beloved, there is some girl out there for you that's not gonna take you through all this. Like, it's actually sad for me to see. It's frustrating because I can't even be mad at Nicole because, you know, she's finessing, she's scamming, she's running game, and I'm never gonna knock a woman for doing that. But I also feel bad because, you know, Deontay seems to be a good guy too. But I also feel like you went onto that prison website. You should have known what you were getting. There was always going to be that possibility. These are criminals. These are professional scammers. Come on now. Anyways, Deontay links up with Derek with the smooth skin at the gym. And Deontay's telling him about what happened the night before in regards to him finding Nicole in the car with her ex. And Deontay says that he has to talk to her. And Derek is like, for what? Like, why did she disrespected you on national TV? What else is there to talk about? And Derek is saying that he fears that Deontay will just accept her apology and act like it never happened. And as they're having this conversation and working out, Nicole calls and says that she wants to meet up, but she can't do it that night because she had something going on, so they need to meet up the next day. And that should have been another red flag for him right there. You can't meet me tonight? Why? If I'm your man, I'm your fiance, I'm the love of your life, whatever, you should have time for me. This should have been the first thing that you need to do. Period. I don't care what plans you have. You either meet up with me before or we're just not meeting up at all. But his dumbass agrees to meeting the next day. And so then they cut to Nicole, who is getting ready for the night. And apparently she's about to go link up with someone because she doesn't want to tell Deontay at all. She does not want him to know what she's about to do. And Derek, with the smooth skin, is just like all the viewers, and he said what we've all been saying. I know she's a hoe. He knows she's a hoe. Everybody knows she's a hoe. She's for everybody. She has no loyalty. So Nicole meets up with her ex, Tia, and she said that she needs to get clarity before she can be with Deontay. So they link up for drinks, and they go back to the hotel room, and it appears as though there's some sexual activity that's going on. And Nicole just needs to let Deontay go and be with Tia. She's in love with Tia, and she's only using Deontay for his money. And because she knows that she can string him along, no other person is going to be just giving out all this money, and you're not doing anything in return. You're not even communicating with me. But I'm supposed to get your hair and your nails done and buying you clothes and shoes. And no. Deontay needs to stop. And Nicole needs to just go ahead and be with Tia in a toxic relationship, because they did say how they got together in jail by a fight. I think. Whatever. They were spitting in each other's faces in jail, and that's too much. That's crossing a line. But, I mean, you like it, I love it. But, Deontay, get it together. Get it together, because I'm not feeling bad for you no more. Get your shit together. Alright, so we're going to end this out with Rey and Brittany. So, these two are getting ready for Rey's family to come over and finally meet Brittany. And y'all know Brittany's family ain't coming because she's afraid to tell them. Although Rey says that his family has known about Brittany since he's been in jail. So that says a lot about him in a positive way. And it makes me just look at Brittany like, ugh, girl. But anyways, she pulls out this shirt for him. And it's a shirt that's like the first chapter of my new life or whatever. And Brittany, sweetness. Why do you have a shirt for everything? He doesn't have to constantly be reminded that he was in jail and now he's out. Like, chill, sis. But anyways, Brittany is nervous but excited to meet his family, and she's just worried about the questions. So Rey's family starts arriving, and they all come in and grab a plate, starting to eat and talk. And the first part of them talking is so scripted. Like the auntie says, so Rey, I know it's a lot different than you being in prison. I mean, you know, with everything. And she says it just like that. And then his brother says, so bro, what's your next move? And it's just like the way that they wrote these lines. It's like, that's not how authentically we would talk. That's well, I don't think that's very much authentic. I think they've already had this conversation with Rey. They already know this information. This is just reenactment, I guess. I heard that that's what happens a lot in reality TV, but I feel like this is one of those times when I'm like, wait a second. Y'all are looking like you're remembering lines. But whatever. Anyways, so Rey's stepmom asked the big question, is your family coming today? And Brittany's just like, no, we don't want to overwhelm things. I don't want to overwhelm Rey right now with, so much going on. And the stepmom is just giving Brittany this look like, oh, I don't believe a word that you're saying, but I'm going to keep it cute because we on camera. And then she asks Rey, do you feel like you're on trial? And he's like, yeah, I do. And you could tell that Rey not meeting Brittany's family is a big deal to everyone in that family, especially his dad. His dad wants everyone to know that Rey just made a bad decision, but he does not come from a bad family. He does not come from that stereotypical hard thug background. Like, he's from a good family, good stock. Like, he just made a bad decision. And I feel like if Brittany's family even understood what his charges are, like, I think his charges were like selling pills or something. He's not even a violent criminal. He's just a boy that got caught trying to be a duffel bag boy to make some extra change. Like, it happens. Shit. But anyways, Rey, Papa Rey, and Brother Rey go outside to talk, and Papa Rey is so afraid that his son is going to be judged because of the stupid mistakes that he made. But he knows his son is a good person. And, he just wants to be able to show this to Brittany's side. He just wants to be able to show they're good people. And that's it. And Rey says that it's extremely important for him to meet her family because he's kind of old school and he feels like he needs to have their blessing before them to even really, really progress in their relationship. He doesn't like the fact that everything is so secretive. And honestly, Rey, that is a red flag. The fact that she's not telling her family about you, you are a secret. You are a secret. She's hiding you. And I don't know if it's out of shame or if it's because she's really worried about how her family will react. Regardless, you are being hidden, and that's a red flag. And she's lying about it. If she's able just to lie to her family like that, imagine what she could lie to you about. Just saying. So Brittany is showing his aunt around, and she's telling the aunt that, I'm so shocked that we have a similar upbringing. I feel at home with you guys. And I don't know, that sounds like she thought that he was coming from a family of a bunch of hoodlums. And I'd be a little offended, honestly, because just because, he was in jail, that doesn't mean that his family is just acting a fool and not doing the right things. A lot of people go to jail who come from superb families. I mean, there are people that are like serial killers that come from wealthy, affluent families. So yeah, Brittany kind of sounds a little bit ignorant, and I'm not buying this I'm a socialite thing that she does. But go off, sis. But she goes on to say that the reason why her family isn't there is because she wants to take baby steps. And Rey felt like they should have been there. And the aunt agrees with Rey and says that Brittany should have invited her family so that they could all meet. And Brittany doesn't have a response because all she has is excuses. And it's really coming off as her family are rude, nasty individuals who don't have an open mind. And I don't think that is the case. I highly doubt her family is how she's portraying them. I don't think that they are these rude people that'll just, treat Rey like dirt and insult him to his face and just treat him bad. But Brittany's making it seem like that's the kind of people her family is. And it's not a good look. It is not a good look. So everyone leaves, and after Rey's conversation with his dad, he's starting to feel like Brittany is hiding him. So he tells her that she needs to tell her family right away that he's home, and then they can go from there. And Brittany's like, oh, like, you mean like call him right now? Like, and he's like, yeah, this needs to stop. The lies have to stop. Stop the madness. Call them. Let them know I'm here, I'm home, and I'm living here. So Brittany calls her dad and she asks to meet with him. And she didn't tell him anything about why she wanted to meet. And I think that she should have just told him over the phone that Rey was there and that I'd like for you to meet him. But we find out the real reason she's keeping him a secret is because sis is working 2 jobs and has a man in her house that is not contributing anything. So I think low-key she's embarrassed. I would be too. I mean, you got a whole grown man laid up in your house, not contributing to anything, but still eating, probably playing a video game, showering, living his best life on your dime. But again, this was her decision too. She sought out a man in prison. And I feel like, Grandma Sue, like, what would possess you to do that? Are you that desperate? What's wrong with you that you can't find a man in the free world? Why are you not with a CEO since you're so bougie? Why are you with a criminal? We'll see, y'all. Anyways, that's all I got. Finale is, it already aired. I'm just behind. So yeah, I'll get that up here soon. Anyways, yeah, bye.